Well, I had some comments on my channel wanting to know, a viewer commented on my channel wanting to know what gold rings sound, read up on the dais. You know, what numbers are they? What does the XY graph screen look like? You know, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about the dais, right? I have the HF coil right here, right? It's awesome, that gold. And there's a lot of misconceptions out there about the dais, you know, wanting to know what the dimes and what the silver and what the coins read up at. You know what? To tell you the truth, I have no idea what dimes or pennies or quarters or these gold rings read up at. It's probably the first time I've ever looked at the numbers on these rings here, and I really don't know the numbers on the dais for the coins, so I don't have any coins here to show you that. So I'm not really interested in the numbers. You know, with the dais, it's all about the tones, man. The numbers are going to change. If you're in hot program, those numbers are going to change depending on which frequency you're in, and those numbers are going to change if that coin or that gold ring is on its edge, and that screen is going to change. You know, the XY screen is going to change. If there's just one little teeny bit of iron on the surface, right, you're going to get an erratic signal on your XY screen, right? So I'll just go over these, swing these rings over the dais here, and I'll see what they read up at, right? I'm not sure, right? This is the first time I've ever tried to look at the numbers on the dais. I've almost had this thing a year. I'm getting a lot of EMI right now, so just bear with me here. I'll turn the sensitivity, the gain down here a little bit. Big honking gold ring, 14 karat Zales gold ring. 88, the number's 88, right? I'll pull out the case here. 87, 88. I'll go up to 31 kilohertz. Come on, if I can push the button. 93. All right. I'll go up to 54 kilohertz. 95. You want to dig the tones out, man. If you're looking at your detector, every target, you're spending a lot of time looking at your detector and not paying attention to the ground, and you're not paying attention to the tones, right? You're relying on your detector screen too much and the numbers, right? The numbers really are really irrelevant, you know? They're really irrelevant to me. Because when I'm hunting, I'm not looking at my screen. I look at my screen maybe 3 times a day, and the only time I do look at my screen is when I'm pushing a button, and I put it back in the case and I put it underneath my chin. I can't see my detector, so I don't know the numbers, right? Here's another honking white gold ring right here, 54 kilohertz. It's reading a lot lower than that other gold ring here, 88 and 54 kilohertz. 31 kilohertz. 82, right? Sounds a lot different, right? And the numbers are a lot different too. In full tones, hot program, right? 64, it reads up 64. And now I'll put it on this edge. 65. If it's going this way, right here, it's barely hitting it, right? 68, 70, 58, 63, 65, 64 flat, you know. And rings that are odd shaped, like this one, this gold ring right here, this odd shaped gold ring, it's gonna read up all different numbers, right? And look at the graph screen. And when you're in high EMI or if you get any EMI, that screen is going to be all jagged, right? It's going to give you a really erratic line there. It's not going to be a straight line, right? So you don't, I don't rely on that screen. That's why I kind of don't look at the Deus when I'm detecting, right? I can dig out so many more targets if I'm not looking at my damn screen, right? See, look at how jumpy that tone is right there. See that graph screen? 85. Flat like this, or straight down, 92. Right? Odd-shaped rings read up all different, man. Like this ring right here, this 14 karat gold ring here. It all depends on your soil conditions. Your soil conditions can change every hour, every day. It can change, the soil conditions can change from this spot right here to over to that spot. So if I bury a penny at 5 inches deep here and I bury a penny at 5 inches deep over there, they're going to read up completely different numbers, right? But in full tones, they're going to sound about the same, right? Because if you're running in a 2, 3, 4, or 5 tone program with the Deus, your tones and your tone breaks are set in these parameters, right? So pull tab is going to give you pretty much the same tone no matter what pull tab they are. It matters really where your tone breaks are at and how many tones you have. But in full tones, these gold rings sound crisp and clean, right? Because it's taking all those tone breaks, you know, all these numbers that it's going back and forth to, right? You have a less chance of a tone break being in between there, or it could be several tone breaks in full tones. If you are in like a 2, 3, 4, 5 tone, this could be, this gold ring could be right on a tone break. So it's going to give you a broken tone, right? It's not going to be a very clean tone. And the numbers are going to be really jumpy, right? But I just urge you to stay away from looking at the numbers too much. You know, don't rely on the numbers too much. You know, they're really irrelevant to me. I mean, some people disagree with me that, you know, it's like 30% numbers, 70% tones, and whatever the rest is, you know. But I just don't look at my detector. That's how I can get so many more targets out of the ground, by not having to even worry about what my detector's reading up at or what the graph is saying. I'm more worried about that tone that it's giving me, right? It's the quality of the tone that it's giving you. And in the hot program, that full tones, it's giving you a quality tone. Here's a very small gold ring right here. Really low tone, right? Because I'm in 14 kilohertz. I'll bump this up. The numbers are 40, right? 31 kilohertz. 53, right? Now I'll put this on this edge. If I'm going this way, it's barely even hitting it, right? 54. Right? Now I'll go up frequency. It'll probably hit a little bit better going this way. No. A lot better, right? 67, 66. Now I'll go over to 3-tone program, Deus fast. I'll probably get a lot of EMI. Might not even hit it. A little bit of a broken tone there. And now I'll change my frequency. 31 kilohertz. Here's 54 kilohertz. So the tones are not going to change. I'm going to turn this off. The tones are not going to change if you're in 2, 3, 4, and 5 tone, if you change your frequencies, because that's a set tone already. You've already predetermined, you've already preset that tone and that tone break to give you that certain tone for that number. And usually it'll be usually it'll give you the same tone if you're changing frequencies. But the hot program, these rings sound a lot better, you know, on these smaller gold rings. If you're in 2, 3, 4, 5 tone, you're probably gonna have those rings give you a tone break. It's gonna give you a broken tone, like a mid or a mid high or a low mid or a low mid high. It'll just be jumping all over the place, right? And hot program, you just don't get that because it compresses all those tones all together into one tone, right? And I'm not talking about numbers because the numbers are going to change as you change frequencies, as you swing over that target. And like I said, the EMI has a lot to do with that graph screen, that XY graph screen. If you're getting some EMI, it's going to be all jumpy no matter what anyway. Or if you're in hot soil, you're going to get those minerals, and those minerals are going to distort that straight line. And it's all about the tones. You know, I can tell exactly what what that graph is going to look like just by that tone. You know, I can pretty much tell if it's in the 90s or 80s or 70s or 60s or 50s just by the tone of it. And in 2, 3, 4, 5 tone program, which is not full tones, 2, 3, 4, 5 tone program, I can't tell exactly what conductive metal that is, because you have those predetermined tone breaks that are really broad, right? You got a lot of range in between those. Most likely you're going to have a lot of range in between those tone breaks, and it's going to give you just one certain tone. And then you have a more possibility to have a broken tone once you get a ring or a coin or something. You know, it's a lot more work managing your tones in 2, 3, 4, and 5 tones, because you have to manage your discrimination on top of that. You have to remember not to bias the iron, you know, not to get your discrimination too close to one of your tone breaks on your low tone. So it'll give you a high tone, or whatever tone you have for iron. It'll give you that tone will be rejected, right? With hot program, you just don't have all that managing of tones to do. So, you know, I urge you to try hot program full tones. It really has increased my recovery rate dramatically. You know, this machine is a beast when it comes to digging out as many targets as you can per hour. And really, to get a lot of rings, you know, you have to dig up a lot of pull tabs. And the more pull tabs that you can get out of the ground, those rings will start popping out. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe.